Tesla hitting another speed bump yesterday, announcing a voluntary recall of 123,000 Model 8 cars. The automaker says it's concerned that corroding bolts in cold temperatures could lead to power steering failures. The stock is down more than 14% this year as the company deals with production concerns. Let's bring in Lisa Copeland, Enterprise's CEO and automotive analyst. Lisa, your reaction to this? It's not the which model?
It's the Model S. It's the Model S.
Not the A.
Yeah, it's the Model S.
That's a prompter error. That wasn't me. I know my cars better than
it sounds like what we talked about earlier today. You know, I think it's just a bump in the road for Tesla. I mean, fundamentally, you know, they did the right thing by pulling the cars off the road. You always have to be concerned about the safety of your consumer. But, you know, it's minor. It's in a minor market. They've put over 1 billion miles on this particular vehicle with no problem.
I think it had to do with a part that it was part of the power steering from a German.
It's part of the power steering. It's really only affected in areas where it snows and the ice and the salt on the road.
Well, that's not good.
But Tesla's problems relate to its a cash burn, $1 billion a quarter bond. You know that you look at the bond that it issued last year, how it was trading. It's about the Model 3 and the production of the Model 3.
Right.
And can they really ramp up production? Do you think they can do it? I mean, is this company? Will it be not only viable but successful?
I think it's viable, and I think it's successful for a couple of reasons. You know, they have built an army of influencers and champions that absolutely, they'll wait 2 to 3 years for this car. And I think Elon Musk is one of the most brilliant automotive minds, just one of the most brilliant minds in business today. And I believe in him. I think that he's going to figure it out, and I think the consumers are going to wait.
You've got 25 years of experience in an industry that is less than 20% female. You talk about the importance of women, how they influence 85% of car purchases, which I can certainly speak to.
Yes.
You spoke about that at the New York International Auto Show. Which cars from the show this year are most popular among women?
You know, the thing with women, you know, as much as we like to look at the aesthetics of a car, safety is #1 to us. You know, we want to make sure that everybody who's in the car with us, our passengers and our kids, that they're safe. You know, I'm a really big fan of the Volvo XC90, the XC40, and the XC60. Subaru is, you know, always been second to none when it comes to not only safety but engineering and design also.
Are car salesmen, because I'm a gearhead and I have been from childhood thanks to my dad.
Right.
My dad didn't look at me like, you know, his daughter. He looked at me as his child.
Sure.
And he didn't. He's like, I'm interested in airplanes and in pickup trucks, and so you're going to learn how to rebuild an engine. Right. Are car salesmen equipped to talk to women about what women are interested in? And I mean the men out there selling cars.
That's a great question. You know, women do more research than anybody known to man, like 14 hours of research before she ever enters the showroom for the first time. So whether it's men or women, what I've found that women consumers are usually more educated than the salespeople on the showroom floor.
Well, that's really interesting. So they say that 90% of the women that go into auto sales leave the industry within the first year because it's difficult for working mothers, you know, the evenings, weekends, holidays, and things like that.
Got to work Saturday. If you sell cars,
Saturdays, nights, holidays, the whole bit, you know.
So you've been in this industry for over 25 years. What do you say to women that are in difficult industries dominated by men? How do they stick with it? What is it about perseverance?
I've always thought that I could sell some doggone cars.
I think you could sell some cars, too.
I'm bad at selling some stuff, but I could sell some cars.
Yeah, you know, and I started my career selling cars, you know, but, you know, women, first of all, I mean, women know that this is a male-dominated industry, and that's, you know, and so a lot of them are afraid to even go in and try it out. But it's a fantastic industry that affords all kinds of opportunities. But you're right, NADA says 90% of women salespeople will leave the industry within 12 months. You know, and it's lack of role models, it is lack of access to role models, and it's lack of flexibility. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, these women are educated, they're fantastic, and they're smart. They have a lot of options. I can sell a car, or I can get into the tech industry. Let's see.
What was your key to success? What made you stay? What was the... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to just point out that the General Motors CEO is a lady.
I love her, Mary Barra. And, you know, and that's where we started to see some change. That's where we started to see the conversation started about women in automotive. I had the honor of meeting her in 2016, and she's fantastic. In fact, I wanted to take a picture with her, and she said, well, can I put my lipstick on first? I was like, we're going to be friends.
So, Lisa, you talk about women loving safety in cars, but it was women who designed the Hellcat engine for the Dodge Demon, right? How many horsepower is that?
Right, yeah, it's over 500 horsepower, and it was for the Hellcat.
I mean, that's not a safety thing.
Well,
that's
and I just wish every man in America knew that car was designed by a woman, but it was. Yeah.
I wanted to point out one woman, because you never get a chance to do this on TV, and I bet you know who she is. Her name's Alba Cologne. She used to work at General Motors, and she in their racing team. She was an engineer, and she just went to work at Hendrick Motorsports. But she was she was born in Spain, grew up in Puerto Rico, and was has been and still is this incredible force in NASCAR in the racing world.
Right.
It was just incredible that this woman, because if there's a man's sport, I can't think.
Women love racing, and women love NASCAR, you know, and I think that we're finally starting to get our voice when it comes to automotive, not only as consumers, but in racing, you know, and Mary Barr has helped lead that charge. But, you know, women, I mean, you know, they really are starting to come into the fact they understand their power. When you influence 85% of an industry, of the purchases, of what's going on, you know, that needs to start mirroring, that needs to start, the demographic needs to start happening. More women need to design cars, get involved in STEM. More women need to be on the showroom floors, and stick with it. It's not an easy business, but it's a great business, and it can take you all the way to the top.
What are you driving right now? I asked you that when you said
you did. I am driving a Mercedes right now, so. Yes, and I like it.
You paused there.
Well, it's German engineering, and here she is.
because we were actually talking about before how I've always been a Maserati driver. So I like the Mercedes. I love the Maserati.
What was your favorite car out of the car show? I mean, you were just there, so I'm curious. What excited you the most, or what was your favorite car?
The Bugatti or the Maybach.
Okay.
I'm still seeing performance and aesthetics here, not safety. You're totally bucking the trend.
Yes, I am sort of semi-bucking the trend. And, you know, that little car, if you get hit in it, you know, stuff might happen. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, women want to feel fantastic in a vehicle. But, you know, we also have to multi-purpose a vehicle more so than our male counterparts.
And are there any little features or bells and whistles that we can put into these cars to make them a little bit more geared to the ladies?
Okay, so I'm obsessed with Volvo. I was at the Chicago Auto Show, and I covered it. And they have got a hook on the passenger side where you can either hang your purse or you can hang your fast food bag. And I thought, well, that's fantastic. How many of us have French fries in the bag, so we stick the bag on there and grab a fry as we're driving down the street? We don't want to admit it, but we do it.
And Volvo, and correct me if I'm wrong, has been really terrific at integrating what I'd call semi-autonomous driving technology into the automobile.
Yes.
And so it's not from driving the automobile yourself to fully autonomous, but it is the integration of those features that makes it easier to get around and improve safety.
Well, I'll tell you, the XC40, a fantastic car from Volvo, and it's, you know, semi-autonomous, so it has a 14-mile range. So if you live in the city, you may never have to burn any gas.
Wow.
So it's 14 miles, and then at that point, it'll switch over to gas. So that's what I like. You know, I like it when you can go both ways, because then you might not have gotten in trouble in your car.
Oh, yeah, it's right. Yeah,
by the way,
I ran out of gas in my hybrid. It's true.
That Bugatti is like a couple $1 million.
Yeah, just a couple. But it was fantastic. They literally had armed guards around it. What can you say? I'm like, can I sit it? And they're like, no.
Yeah, and ladies, if you want to actually go buy one of these cars, you can't get your hands on them. So I think they need to put more women on the waiting list of the Ferraris and the Bugattis.
Yeah, and I think women have to just own the fact that we ought to be driving Ferraris and Bugattis. I mean, we're great with that. That's what we should do. But, you know, a lot of women, again, you know, just don't put that into on their shopping list. So
I just hope my wife's watching right now. We should own a Ferrari for her sake.
Yes.
A California Ferrari.
A California Ferrari. Okay,
yeah, she would look good in that car.
See, thank you. Still selling.
Still selling.
Can't
love cars.
Lisa,
I love the auto industry.
I do too. And we loved having you here.
Thank
Lisa.
you. Thanks for having me.
What a treat on a Friday.